The Voynich Manuscript is one of the most persistent riddles in the history of writing. Since its rediscovery in 1912, it has puzzled linguists and cryptographers. This 15th-century volume, preserved at Yale University, is full of fantastic illustrations and an indecipherable text. If you like mystery and history, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and give like. Here we explore the most fascinating riddles of humanity, and the Voynich Manuscript is one of the most intriguing. Scientific journalist Michael Greshko has proposed a novel approach to understanding this manuscript. His study, published in Cryptologia, presents an encryption called Naibbe that transforms texts into Latin or Italian into a visual language similar to that of Voynich. This encryption, which can be executed by hand with 15th-century materials, shows that it is possible to create texts that mimic the properties of the manuscript. Although it is not a definitive solution, Greshko states that it meets the conditions necessary to produce texts similar to Voynich. Over the years, three major hypotheses have been put forward about the Voynich manuscript. One of them suggests that it is a fraud, while another argues that it could be a real but unknown language. The third argues that this is an encryption of a known language. The Naibbe does not decipher the original text, but it allows creating something extremely similar. It uses a homophonic substitution method that assigns multiple glyphs to letters or pairs of letters, maintaining a structure consistent with the original manuscript. The Naibbe encryption process begins with a Latin or Italian text, which is removed from spaces and capitals. Then it is divided into units of letters, and dice are used to decide the length of the generated words. Finally, substitution tables are selected to convert letters into glyphs. This method not only produces an encrypted text that repeats the length and frequency of Voynich words, but can also be done with 15th-century tools, suggesting a possible handcrafted origin of the manuscript. Despite the limitations of Naibbe, such as the inability to replicate certain patterns of Voynich, his study is valuable. It helps refine the model and brings us closer to a more adjusted hypothesis about the creation of the text. The Naibbe does not intend to solve the mystery of the Voynich manuscript, but to establish a reproducible reference. This opens the door to further research and allows to evaluate other hypotheses about the manuscript. In conclusion, although the manuscript remains an enigma, each step like Greshko's brings a little closer to the possibility of deciphering it. What do you think about the Voynich manuscript? Do you think one day it will be understood?